Hey, my name is Matt Laster. I'm a senior sales engineer here with ModelOp, and today I want to talk about how ModelOp Center is able to abstract your model and its scoring logic from how it's scored. What I mean by that is some models, are designed to score in very fast, transactional, real time via REST, and some models are designed more for batch scoring. Some models are meant for being deployed out to an edge device and scoring all by themselves for days or however long that deployment may be. Point is, ModelOp Center allows you to build your model once and actually, based on how we handle abstractions, you don't have to handle wiring and interacting with that model. We'll abstract that for you. So what we're going to do today is look at a credit scoring model that predicts loan defaults. Again, something that would routinely be seen both in a batch or a online REST setting. And we're going to show how we are able to use that same code for online REST inferencing as well as running batch jobs. We're also going to show how we're able to do that. And just to keep me honest, we'll go ahead and look at that model. So here we are in ModelOp Center. And you can see we are looking at our linear regression for loan approval. Again, this model is designed to predict whether or not someone will default on a loan, another standard banking example. I currently have it deployed on an engine in my environment. And if I wanted to, I could go and inference with it. And we'll be doing that in just a second. Before we get to that, what I want to do first is very quickly look through at a quick high level some of this code here. And I want to show, number one, this is a real model. Number two, and more importantly, when it comes to scoring this model and getting an inference, there's no data pipeline in this model, right? There's no code here that shows opening files or having to attach to web servers or anything like that. It's very strictly just here's how I score it, and here's how we're going to score it. So we're jumping right into, building that data frame in Pandas and doing our thing. There's no data monging, data wrangling. All of that gets pushed down into your data pipeline and your data ops group where it belongs. What that allows us to do, again, is abstract. So if we now come to engine 3, here we are, and I can see that sure enough, this is a ModelOp engine that is running our model. What that means is we are using a ModelOp runtime. So we do provide our own runtime with its own set of capabilities and supported languages and everything else. But more importantly, what I can do now is if I hop over to Postman, I can make some inferences. So here we are. I can see that, if I were to just run this inference again, I'm doing a get against my API, against that production runtime, and I'm able to see, sure enough, based on these features, this person would not default on a loan. And if we drop their annual income to something much, much significantly lower, sure enough, they would default with a 86% in confidence. I'm going to stop and start that piece over again from here. All right, 3, 2, 1. So now if we were to take a look at this engine, and rather than opening a new tab, I've got it right here. This is a ModelOp engine deployed in our demo environment, currently running and serving our loan approval model through REST means. And what that means is I can come to my Postman standard REST interface, and I can make a call and interact with that model. So you can see here I'm just making a normal post to my engine, and I'm coming back saying based on these features, this person is expected to default on that loan. Now let's give them a big raise, add a couple zeros to their paycheck. Don't you wish we could all do that? And look at that. Now our model doesn't think they'll default. So just like that, we are able to show that we're moving features in and out of a model. We're getting scores back and forth from it via REST online. The same can go for Kafka and all the other types of streaming real-time inferencing methods. Excuse me. Now let's go back to ModelOp Center, back to this model, and now come to our jobs. And I'm going to create a new job using that same model. I'm going to upload a file, same sample set of data. And I'm going to go ahead and say create scoring job. And what's going to happen now is ModelOp Center is actually going to take that file that we just uploaded, or a pointer to an S3 bucket or wherever, and it's going to push it into that same model in real time, not in real time, but as a batch, and then return us a set of inferences on that out.json file. So just like that, I can see that we've gone ahead and run our job. And if I were to open this file, I could see all the different inferences that were made. This batch style, again, is something we see very commonly at a lot of customers, but it's also what we, ModelOp Center, use for a lot of our governance and control. So when we're doing things like data drift detection or concept drift detection or performance backtesting and those types of tests and monitoring against KPIs, a lot of that is something that's done in batch on a scheduled basis. And you don't have to do anything to your model for us to be able to do that. All you have to do is have ModelOp Center. All right, so just like that, let's now come back to my slides here and let's talk about what we just walked through. So we started off by looking at a model that is deployed on an engine serving inferences or scores via REST, and how we were able to still see, manage, track, and control that model. Then we use the same model to run a job, a batch job, and get more inferences. Again, that's useful for if it's a batch model to begin with, or if I'm wanting to test for various KPIs. And all of that was powered by a single model record in the catalog that had no data pipeline hooked up to it, that had no data controls or input and output files and all of that. So what that means back to our model creator personas is that they don't need to worry about that. They can they can concentrate on building code that drives a better score, that drives a better inference, and let the data ops groups handle getting data to their model. ModelOp Center will handle gluing it together through our abstraction layer. I hope this video was enjoyable. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.